Chapter 10. Life as Komi's twin. Tadano Hitohito stared at the classroom door, his heart sinking as he realized he was about to endure yet another day of confusion, awkward questions, and inevitably, Nejime's relentless teasing. He adjusted the strap of his school bag over his shoulder. The morning sun streaming through the hallway windows caught the glossy waves of his hair as he took a deep breath. "Okay," he muttered to himself. "You've survived worse. It's just another day." With that, he slid the door open. As expected, most of his classmates were already there, chatting in small groups or fiddling with their phones. But the moment Tadano stepped inside, the room fell silent. "Morning, Komi-san," someone called out cheerfully. Tadano sighed. "It's not Komi-san," another voice whispered loudly. "Wait, are you sure? They look exactly the same." He could feel the eyes of his classmates darting between him and Komi, who was seated at her desk near the window. She glanced up from her notebook, her lips parting slightly as her gaze met Tadano's. "Good morning," he said, his voice soft and melodic, still unsettling to hear coming out of his own mouth. Komi nodded in response, her expression as calm and unreadable as ever. "Whoa, you're telling me that's Tadano?" one of the boys in the back exclaimed, leaning forward in his chair. "No way. That's got to be Komi-san." "It's Tadano," Najimi declared, appearing out of nowhere and throwing an arm around Tadano's shoulders. "See? He's got that slightly awkward vibe. Classic Tadano." "Thanks, Naimi," Tadano said dryly, shrugging them off. Naimi grinned. "No problem, buddy. But seriously, you've nailed the Kami look. If there were a cosplay competition, you'd win first place and confuse the judges." "I'm not cosplaying," Tadano muttered, heading for his desk. The twin confusion. Life as Komi's twin was, to put it mildly, exhausting. No matter where Tadano went, someone was bound to mistake him for her. During lunch, he sat with Komi and Najimi at their usual spot in the cafeteria. As he unwrapped his bento, a group of first-year girls approached their table, their eyes sparkling with excitement. "Komi-senpai," one of them squealed, holding out a small notebook. "Can we have your autograph?" Tadano blinked, pointing at himself. "May?" "Yes," the girl said, nodding eagerly. "You're Komi-senpai, right?" No," Tadano said, glancing at Komi for help. Komi, who was mid-bite, simply stared at him, her expression apologetic but amused. Naimi, of course, decided to make things worse. "Aw, come on, Tadano. Give them an autograph. It's not every day you get to be a celebrity." "Najimi, I'm not." "Here, use my pen," Naimi interrupted, shoving a pen into his hand. Tadano sighed, scribbling his name in the girl's notebook. "It's not an autograph if it's not the right person," he muttered. The first year didn't seem to care. She and her friends giggled and thanked him profusely before running off. "You're a natural," Najimi said, smirking. "Remind me why I'm friends with you," Tadano deadpanned. The locker room incident. Gym class was another minefield of awkwardness. The school had reluctantly agreed to let Tadano use the girls' locker room, given his new appearance, but that didn't make it any less uncomfortable. "Just keep your head down, and don't make it weird," he told himself, gripping the edge of his gym bag as he stepped inside. The locker room was bustling with activity. Girls chatted and laughed as they changed into their gym uniforms, and Tadano did his best to avoid eye contact as he hurried to his assigned locker. "Tadano-chan." Yamai's shrill voice cut through the noise, making him freeze. "Oh, hey Yamai," he said, trying to sound casual, as she appeared beside him. She leaned in close, too close, and stared at him with an intensity that made his skin crawl. "You're so lucky, you know that? Getting to be in here with all of us. It's like a dream come true, isn't it?" "Nope, not even a little," Tadano said, backing away. Yamai's eyes sparkled. "Don't be shy. You're one of us now after all. If you ever need help with anything, just let me know." "I'll keep that in mind," Tadano said quickly, grabbing his gym uniform and bolting for the bathroom stall. Winning with Komi. Despite the constant misunderstandings, there were moments when being Komi's twin wasn't so bad. One afternoon, as they walked home together, they passed a group of middle school students waiting at a crosswalk. "Look, it's Komi-san," one of them whispered loud. "Wait, there's two of them," another exclaimed. The kids stared, their mouths agape, as Komi and Tadano stood side by side in awkward silence. "Should we say something?" Tadano asked, glancing at Komi. She shook her head, her cheeks tinged pink. When the light turned green, they hurried across the street, leaving the bewildered middle schoolers behind. "Do you think they'll start a rumor about Komi-san having a secret twin?" Tadano asked, a hint of amusement in his voice. Komi gave him a small, almost imperceptible smile, and for a moment, he felt a strange sense of camaraderie. Working together. Over time, Tadano and Komi began to find ways to work together to navigate their shared challenges. During class, when the teacher asked Komi to read aloud, she hesitated, her hands trembling slightly as she stared at her textbook. Tadano, noticing her discomfort, raised his hand. "Sensei, can I read instead?" he asked. The teacher blinked. "Oh, sure, Komi. Tadano?" Tadano read the passage smoothly, his voice calm and steady. When he finished, he glanced at Komi, who gave him a small nod of gratitude. Later, during lunch, Komi slid a note across the table to him. "Thank you for helping me." Tadano smiled. "Anytime, Komi-san." A growing friendship. As the weeks went on, Tadano and Komi grew closer than ever. They developed an unspoken understanding, a bond forged through their shared experiences. One evening as they walked home together, Komi suddenly stopped and turned to him. "Tadano-kun," she said softly, her voice barely above a whisper. He blinked, surprised. She rarely spoke, and hearing her say his name always caught him off guard. "Yes?" he asked. She hesitated, then smiled. "Thank you." "For what?" "For being you," she said simply. Tadano felt his cheeks warm, but he managed a smile. "You're welcome, Komi-san."